Hello, this is Mr. Chabry, and I finished some of these battles for the International Challenge of January. Unfortunately, I did not have time to actually stream the battles, but I'm hoping this will suffice. So I'm going to go through some of these battles I had for the International Challenge. I've got 3 from the actual competition, and then 1 from Battle Spot when I was testing out my team. So we're going to go ahead, jump in, and see how this team actually did in this competition. So I'm going to actually start with this team. As you see there, this opponent has some pretty scary Pokemon, mainly Mega Metagross. Zapdos is always a threat. Tapu Lele and Ninetales. I don't remember exactly the other Pokemon, and that's the thing about streaming VGC battles, is because it's easier to understand the entire thought process. But I'm going to go ahead and try my best to answer some of the questions that would probably pop up here. So I'm going to lead with Celesteela and Raichu. The main reason I'm leading with Raichu is because I was kind of nervous my opponent might actually lead with the Zapdos. So I'm going to just do it this way. And here I'm going to actually fake out. Unfortunately, I had a derp moment there and forgot about the Psychic Terrain. So unfortunately, the fake out is just a wasted turn. I was actually going to fake out the Ninetales and then try to hit it with a flamethrower, get some sort of damage, but unfortunately, it didn't work out in my favor. Looking at that, it probably would have made more sense just to flash cannon it, but I just went ahead and did it that way, just, you know, because I derped at this moment. So here I'm going to Encore the Ninetales, and it's going to be stuck into Aurora Veil. But now, the Tapu Lele is actually going to do a Shattered Psyche, and I'm kind of nervous because I kind of need Raichu alive, because that's going to help me out with the Zapdos later on. I'm kind of nervous on where this Tapu Lele is aiming this Shattered Psyche, and luckily for me, it actually ends up being the Celesteela. And Celesteela, if you remember watching my my other videos, was an Assault Vest Celesteela, so it's not going to do that much, but I'm going to go ahead Flash Cannon the Tapu Lele, trying to get some sort of damage. Unfortunately, the Aurora Veil is really hurting my chances here. The Hell is actually hurting my Pokemon as well, and I'm actually going to swap out Raichu here and go into Milotic, because Milotic, out of all the Pokemon, has the best survivability. And my opponent's actually going to bring in the Zapdos. So this is kind of nerve-wracking, because here is the Pokemon that I really needed a Raichu for. And it's got the Psychic Seed, so it's going to get a special defense boost, and that's actually not good for me. Celesteela is going to go for another Flash Cannon, and that's going to finish off the Tapu Lele, so that's really nice there. But unfortunately, Zapdos is still a threat, and Alola Ninetales, I'm not too worried about it at this point. It still could have something like Freeze Dry, but I'm not too worried about that. What I am worried about is the Zapdos, because Zapdos is super effective with its electrical moves against my Milotic and my Celesteela, and they're both out here on the field. So now my opponent's going to bring the Ninetales back in, and here I'm going to actually swap out the Milotic, expecting maybe an electrical move, because I've got 2 Pokemon that are weak. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my Raichu here, as Raichu takes a Freeze Dry. And luckily for me, Raichu's natural bulk ends up helping me out. I mean, it's not the bulkiest Pokemon, but it's bulky enough to take a Freeze Dry. So I'm going to hit this Ninetales with a Flash Cannon, finish it off, and it is now a gone Ninetales. The thing about Celesteela is it doesn't have much to touch the Zapdos, unfortunately. So there's no point in going after the Zapdos with my Celesteela, because there's not much it can even do. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the thing that Celesteela can take out. So now my opponent's last Pokemon comes in, and it is Metagross. And Metagross, of course, is very scary. It's a very scary Pokemon. It has really good speed, really good attack, and it has the ability Tough Claw, so its contact moves are going to be doing a lot more damage. Here I'm actually going to just protect, because I'm pretty sure this thing might go for an Earthquake, because a lot of them do have Earthquake, but surprisingly it has Stomping Tantrum, so I'm not totally sure how good that is compared to Earthquake, but it's pretty interesting. The Heat Wave gets some chip damage on Celesteela, but Celesteela has such nice bulk, it's not going to do that much. So now the Psychic Terrain is finally gone. I could go for Fake Out whenever I want now. So what I'm going to do is actually swap out my Raichu. I don't think Zapdos is going for an electric move here. And Stomping Tantrum is actually going to do a lot of damage because of how that works. It does more damage if the last time it went for it, it failed. I'm not sure the exact mechanics, but Milotic actually takes that well, so maybe it doesn't work on Protect. But this Heat Wave will finish off the Celesteela. So now I'm going to go into my Landorus, and Landorus is actually a really good Pokemon here. I'll get the Intimidate on the Metagross, which I am very scared of. That's nice, but I don't want to stay in because the reason is because Zapdos usually has Hidden Power Ice. I know this from battling Zapdos. They often have Hidden Power Ice. So what I'm going to do is U-turn, get some chip damage. I was actually hoping to take Metagross out with that, but unfortunately, we don't take it out with that. And Milotic will go down to the Zen Headbutt. So now Zapdos will go for the Hidden Power Ice onto the Raichu, which it was aiming at the Landorus. So now I've got Raichu here. Raichu has a free Fake Out it could go for. Also, I've got another Intimidate onto this Metagross. So now we're in a good position here. So what I'm going to do is actually just Fake Out the Zapdos. The main reason is because this Rock Slide, if it connects with Metagross, Metagross is gone. And luckily for me, it does connect to the Metagross. If it missed the Metagross, unfortunately, it would have been bad. But fortunately, it hits. So I don't know why I said unfortunately there. But the Zapdos will flinch. And now Rock Slide is, of course, super effective against Zapdos. We're going to have enough damage there, especially now that Metagross is gone, to take out the Zapdos. So this was the battle, testing out the team, seeing how everything worked, and looking at that, yes, that was really nice. I'm really proud of this video. That's why I actually saved it. There was a few of them that I weren't so proud of, and this was the one I was most proud of from just testing out the team. Now we're going to go into the first battle of the International Challenge that I had. Looking here, you can see my opponent's team. Electros, of course, I'm bringing Raichu because of that. And we have Murkrow, which Murkrow is an interesting Pokemon because it has Prankster. So, yeah, that's actually an interesting thing. I don't have any Dark types, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to prevent the Pranksters. But we're going to hop right into this battle. So, a Pokemon that I haven't seen that often in this competition was Slowbro, and I think it's pretty interesting that my opponent here has a Slowbro. So now I'm going to actually lead with Raichu and Landorus. That way I can get a Fake Out if I need to. That way I could get a Discharge if I need to. And Landorus getting an Intimidate. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but there's not really anything here that really cares that much. Maybe Murkrow, because a lot of times Murkrow could be, they could run physical attacks, but of course it's going to go for Rain Dance. I'm going to Fake Out the Slowbro, expecting possibly a Trick Room. So that's what I'm going to do. Murkrow, of course, just went from Rain Dance. That's pretty interesting. I'm kind of nervous about that. Slowbro will flinch here. But now I'm locked into Rock Slide. I'm hoping to keep flinching this thing so it does not go for the Trick Room. So of course we're going to go for the Rock Slide again. Get some chip damage on both of these super bulky water types. And just go for Discharge because there's no reason not to. Landorus will not be affected. And it's super effective against these two. It would be bad if I got a Paralysis and then the Trick Room activated and they were faster than anything on my team. But now we're going to see Slowbro pop its Z move. So this is actually an Icium Z Slowbro, which I think is actually kind of overkill on Landorus. I mean, I'm not sure what move exactly is being powered up. I mean, it could be something like Icy Wind or some weaker move, which it would probably make sense there. Landorus might be able to take one of those depending on the spread. But yeah, that's going to completely demolish Landorus. And now I have to keep in mind that this is kind of scary, because if this thing has Trick Room, that could be a huge problem. So what I'm going to do is go into my Abomasnow that will get rid of the rain, because I don't want this thing getting extra damage from water moves. So now I've got the Hell here, and I've got a Pokemon that's actually pretty slow. I'm not sure exactly if it's slower than Slowbro, but it's a slow Pokemon. Plus, if it gets paralyzed by the Discharge, which is not very effective on it, it would just help out in the Trick Room. But he's actually going to swap out the Slowbro for the Electros, which I'm not totally sure what set this is, this Electros. With my Abomasnow, I'm just going to go ahead, get some of my health back from where I went ahead and discharged myself. And that's going to be really nice. So now, my Mega Abomasnow is at full health, but this Electros is here. And I know Electros has a wide range of moves it can go for. I've seen Electroses go for Flamethrower, even Fire. It could be either physical or special. The thing is, you never know. So what I'm going to do is actually go for Protect on Abomasnow, expecting something like a Flamethrower maybe, and I'm going to just go for the Discharge. The Murkrow actually doesn't go for like a Rain Dance or anything like that that would be helped out with Prankster. It's actually going to go for the Brave Bird, trying to get some damage on my Abomasnow, and the Electros actually has Acid Spray, so I think that's pretty interesting. Acid Spray is a move that will lower your special defense, if I'm not mistaken, so that's actually pretty cool. But luckily we go for Protect on the Abomasnow, and both of those attacks do not do anything because he aimed at the Mega Abomasnow. So now I'm just going to go for Discharge. Of course that will be enough to take out Slowbro, and now that leaves this Electros. And this Electros is actually going to go for Drain Punch here. I'm guessing it's like a mixed set with Acid Spray and Drain Punch. Maybe Acid Spray helps the other special attackers out, and then Drain Punch just for its own self. But I'm going to just go for Blizzard, get some chip damage, and looking at that, yeah, I'm hoping that we can end up winning this back and forth, because it's really hard for Abomasnow and Raichu to do much damage to this. So I'm actually going to swap out, expecting another Drain Punch on my Abomasnow, and I'm just going to Encore it so it'll be stuck into Drain Punch so I know exactly what move it would go for. It would be actually cool if I Encored it into Acid Spray and then went into Celesteela, but then I would have trouble with, you know, discharging. But now this thing is locked into Drain Punch, and Celesteela has really nice bulk. This is actually a special defensive Celesteela, that's why that did quite a bit of damage, more than what you would have expected. But yeah, this is a special defense Celesteela, but it still takes that really nice, and that's the main reason I've got it in. Now I'm going to go into my Abomasnow, not thinking, yeah, it's not going to go after Raichu with that. And I'm going to Air Slash, maybe get the flinch, and I do get the flinch. So now the Hell has stopped, so unfortunately Blizzard's, you know, normal accuracy, and yeah, but I'm still thinking that we're doing pretty good. Now that I have my Mega Abomasnow here, I'm hoping that I can bait the Electros to go after that, but it doesn't matter because this Energy Ball will finish it off with a crit. I'm not sure if the crit mattered, but it's just nice taking it out. So this is a battle. I'm going to actually do this last because, I mean, looking at this team preview, you probably know exactly what happened in this one. I'll probably do that last since this battle was, you know, he had unevolved Pokemon, which when I saw that in the team preview, I didn't know what to think. But now we're going to actually do this one because this one was also a pretty good battle here. So looking at this team, we see Flygon. I think that's interesting. Spirit Tomb, I haven't seen that many Spirit Tombs, so I don't know exactly what they do. And Skarmory, I know, is a very, very bulky defensive Pokemon. So that's why I've got my Celesteela, because Celesteela has Flamethrower. That will take care of that. But yeah, let's hop right into the battle. I'm kind of nervous, thinking about what I'm nervous about. Honestly, I don't know what Spirit Tomb does. That's what I'm probably most nervous about, because what does Spirit Tomb do? I don't know. I don't think I've ever really faced a Spirit Tomb. Not in a long time. Not in VGC battles, anyway. So, I don't know what it does in doubles. So, we have Landorus here. Landorus, of course, will Intimidate. I'm not sure if Spirit Tomb is usually physical or defensive, but I know Skarmory has more physical attack, so I'm okay with Skarmory being intimidated. Usually it's just, in singles, I know it's usually just, you know, a bulky wall, but I don't know what it would do in doubles. But I'm going to just double down on the Skarmory, and it ends up being a little bit bulkier than what I would expect on the special defense side. I know physically it's already pretty bulky, but Scald didn't really do that much. But now Spirit Tomb is Calm Minding on me. And that's actually that's scary. Because I don't know exactly what they do, and I don't know what moves it has. So I'm going to Rock Slide again. Of course, the Skarmory just Rock Tombed onto my Landorus to lower its speed. But what I'm going to do is Icy Wind and try to equalize that reduction in speed. But I actually missed the Skarmory. That's not that big of a problem because Skarmory's already pretty slow. It's still not even outspeeding my Milotic. And it's going to just Brave Bird the Milotic. Milotic can take that. Doesn't care. But unfortunately for me, a Spirit Tomb does not flinch. So it's going to get another Calm Mind. Now it is at +2 special attack, +2 special defense. Excuse me. And it's very scary. So I'm going to actually have to swap out here. I'm locked into Rock Slide. I can't just keep, you know, hoping for flinches. So I'm going to try to switch out to something that I could actually hit the Spirit Tomb pretty hard with. I want to get rid of Skarmory first off because this thing, of course, has Rock Tomb. It could do a lot of shenanigans with that, and a lot of times they probably would have Roost. So I want to get rid of that. But now this thing is at +3. +3. I have been sleeping on this thing, and it's just building up a lot of bulk. And now Kangaskhan is here. And of course, Kangaskhan is one of the most threatening Pokemon in VGC. Of course, it got a nerf from Generation 6 to Generation 7, but it's still a very popular Pokemon because it is a very hard-hitting Pokemon, especially with the Parental Bond. And this thing actually has Thunderbolt, which I've not really seen a special attacking Kangaskhan in competitive, but that would make a lot of sense because Thunderbolt would have double chance to paralyze in this situation. So I'm going to actually just double down on the Spirit Tomb, Flash Cannon, hoping to get a special defense drop, but I don't, and this thing is now at +4. I went for Scald hoping to get the burn, so it would help me out, but now +4, this thing is scary. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about this thing. It's bulky, it's a huge threat because I don't know what they usually do. So now Kangaskhan reveals that it has Flamethrower. I'm not too worried about that because Kangaskhan is not known for its special attack, and it actually goes for Celesteela. I don't get burned. I'm going to try to Scald the Kangaskhan to, you know, burn it, so as I'm aiming down on the Spirit Tomb, I could, you know, not totally have an eye closed to Kangaskhan, but this thing does not flinch, and it gets a rest. So now this thing is at full health. At +4 special attack, +4 special defense. This thing is a huge threat, and I am very scared of it. So, I'm not sure exactly what they do, but we're about to find out because it is at +4. He just went for rest. I'm pretty sure he's going to start attacking with that thing. Celesteela is going to take a Flamethrower. Luckily, we don't get burnt. And I'm going to Scald again. I'm going to Scald Kangaskhan. I don't see a point in scalding the Spirit Tomb because it's at +4. Even if I burn it, it can just rest. And the Air Slash luckily flinches it this turn. So I don't know if he was going for another Calm Mind, but that works out for me there. So now Kangaskhan is going to go for a Thunderbolt. I do not want to switch out and give the Spirit Tomb a chance to just, you know, set up some more. I'm going to Icy Wind, lower the speed, get some damage on both of them. Chip damage mainly on Spirit Tomb because look at that. I did nothing. We're going to reduce its speed. Air Slash will hit the Spirit Tomb. I'm hoping for another flinch. But it doesn't. It's going to Dark Pulse now. And yeah, there goes Celesteela. Celesteela is not living a Dark Pulse from +4. So yeah, that's actually very scary now. So now that I see that this thing is a huge threat, I'm going to go into my Landorus. I know Kangaskhan, I think Kangaskhan can get Ice Beam, and since we've seen this thing only using special attacks, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Landorus might go down, but I need a physical attacker here to do some big damage to that Spirit Tomb because the special attacker is not going to cut it anymore. This thing is too bulky, so I'm going to just Earthquake. I'm hoping to take out Kangaskhan because of the Ice Beam chances, and yes, it does have Ice Beam, of course. So Landorus will go down here. Luckily, we get some sort of chip damage. I was hoping to do more damage than that, unfortunately, but we will work with what we've got. So we're going to get some leftover recovery. It doesn't really matter because Spirit Tomb's a huge threat right now. I am scared of it. So now I've got my Kuma-O in, and Kuma-O will, of course, go for the Kuma-Osium Z, which, if you see here, I'll have to edit it so you can't see it. But yeah, just keep in mind that this thing is a huge hitter right now. I need to knock out I need to knock both of these Pokemon out, really. I really do. Because they're both huge threats. And if I can take them both out, that's going to be great. And luckily, Kangaskhan will go down. But unfortunately, Spirit Tomb is still alive. So what can I do about the Spirit Tomb? It's going to knock out another one of my Pokemon. And that's just going to leave my Kuma-O here. So now I'm going to go for Scald. I'm hoping that I take it out. And no, Spirit Tomb is left with a little bit of health. But luckily for me, my opponent's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp instead of Rest. If my opponent went for Rest here, there would have been nothing I could have done because it would have been too hard to fight this thing. So now Flygon is going to come out. Of course, Flygon is Dragon Ground. I'm not too worried about that because I know Milotic can take it out, and if it lives, this Klangling Scales, +1 Klangling Scales. So we're going to take it out with the Klangling Scales, and that will be the game. So luckily for us, things ended up working out, but I think Celesteela really pulled through there with those flinches. If we didn't get those flinches whenever the Spirit Tomb flinched, we would have probably lost that game. So now I'm going to show this one. The reason I'm doing this one last is because this one's probably the least surprising of how it's going to go down, because my opponent's bringing unevolved Pokemon. I'm wondering if this was like some kid that wanted to try out competitive battling and just brought the team that he had in game. I'm wondering if that was it. But you see, I'm going to lead Landorus. Landorus just demolishes my opponent's team with Rock Slide. And what I'm going to do is actually just U-turn out, because I don't know if this Wingull has Ice Beam, and I don't know if it's like some weird set with Eviolite where it could probably live one Rock Slide. So I'm just going to go ahead, U-turn out, but seeing how much damage U-turn did, it probably isn't trained very well, and he's going to go for Water Gun. So if you want to have a guess of how this battle is going to go, just keep in mind, my opponent just went for Water Gun with a Wingull. So we're just going to take out the Wingull. I don't have to worry about Ice Beam anymore. And now this Grubbin is going to go for Vice Grip. So I was actually expecting a Sticky Web. I don't know if it even gets Sticky Web, but it probably doesn't. I don't think so. But right there, the game's over already. My opponent forfeited as soon as he saw that his team of unevolved Pokemon is not going to handle Celesteela, Landorus, and even Milotic. He didn't even go for Milotic, but still. Yeah, so just give you an idea of how that battle went. So we ended up winning all 3 battles from the actual competition. So keep in mind that one of these battles was probably a child that got into the Masters. Because, yeah, this is Masters Division. I'm wondering if this opponent just decided to sign up for Masters. I don't think they even verify your age, do they? I don't know. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was just someone that wanted to use unevolved Pokemon. But anyway, out of all these battles, which one was your favorite? I really liked how I played this one, because, I mean, even though this wasn't technically a part of the January competition, I really liked the fact that I went for U-turn, and it worked out. So, go ahead, Leave in the comments which battle was your favorite. Which moment was your favorite? Which Pokemon on my team was the VGC MVP in your opinion? If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I will see you in the next Pokemon video.